It was hard to believe that such a thing could happen in this country. American citizens gunned down by the government while exercising their right to protest. President Richard Nixon had expanded the war in Southeast Asia by launching attacks into Cambodia. As a result, protests against the Vietnam War, or as they refer to it in Vietnam, the American War, those protests were becoming more fervent. In May 1970, after a weekend of demonstrations and rioting in the city of Kent, Ohio, the National Guard showed up on the campus of Kent State University and opened fire. 4 students were killed, all of them onlookers. 10 students were wounded, one with a bullet that left him paralyzed. Neil Young captured the outrage that many Americans, young and old, felt in the aftermath of the killings by channeling his anger and disbelief into one of the most powerful protest singles of all time, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young's Ohio. But on the B side of that 45, Stephen Stills offered his own powerful statement in a short composition called Find the Cost of Freedom. As a young man who grew up in a military family, Stills was well aware of what it took to maintain our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Now, this would be the perfect point in this video to offer some telling insight from a military leader, but the consensus of everyone, from Ulysses S. Grant to Douglas MacArthur to George Patton, is simply this: freedom is never free. Writer Maya Angelou aptly captured the challenge before us by saying, "Being free is as difficult and as perpetual as struggling to be a poet, or a good Christian, or a good Jew, or a good Muslim, or a good Zen Buddhist. You work all day long and achieve some kind of level of success by nightfall, and then go to sleep and wake up the next morning with the job still to be done. So you start all over again."
Find the cost of freedom buried in the ground. Mother Earth will swallow you. Lay your body down. Find the cost of freedom buried in the ground. Mother Earth will swallow you. Lay your body down.
In May of 1969, Stephen Stills was just an obscure musician who used to be in a band called Buffalo Springfield. A year later, thanks to the success of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young at Woodstock and the popularity of their new album Deja Vu, by May of 1970, Stephen and the rest of the band were speaking for an entire generation. It was a role they all took to heart. In a 2008 interview with Review Atlas, David Crosby talked about how performing for audiences on the CSN Freedom of Speech Tour made us believe in ourselves again, especially the town crier aspect of what we do. Good art makes you feel something, and anger is one of those things. In a 2006 interview with the Long Beach Telegram, Graham Nash voiced the same sentiment. We're out to touch people and present them with an idea that's over 200 years old, that you have the right to speak your mind, to dissent, to address your government. It's patriotic to speak out. not unpatriotic. And Stephen Stills summed up that particular moment by saying, "Everyone's pretty much had it. We as a nation keep rolling over and taking it. It's time to rise up as one." And that is another song in the Great Moments in Vinyl series, Songs of the Revolution. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young's Find the Cost of Freedom. Performed and sung by Bill Grady, with stories from me, William Lindsey Cochran. You can find more of our Songs of the Revolution videos and our other performance videos on our website, greatmomentsinvinyl.com, and on our YouTube and Facebook pages. And why not stay in touch by following us on Instagram and Facebook? We've got another video in the works, and we wouldn't want you to miss it. One final thought about protest songs. This one comes from Graham Nash, who once told an interviewer, "Maybe we're just singing to the choir." Personally, I'd like the choir to get off its ass.